Cyclone Yasi crossed the coast as a Category 5 cyclone last night at Mission Beach around midnight. So those communities certainly bore the full brunt of this storm. We've had fire and rescue crews assess the main street and the CBD area in Tully this morning so far. They've indicated that they would, their very preliminary assessment would indicate that 90% of the buildings in that area are extensively damaged. We haven't yet had any assessment done in Cardwell. We're hearing reports out of places like Tully Heads of extensive damage. So these are smaller communities. Places like Innisfail, already significant reports of crop damage, particularly to those bananas yet again. So these are smaller communities, but we're still talking several thousands of people. And as we get more light and it is safer to get out there, we'll be able to update throughout the day. The police have been out on the streets in Cairns now for a couple of hours and are telling us that it seems to have been spared the worst, although there is some damage, as you would expect. As you go south of where the cyclone hit, so south of Mission Beach, down into those communities, particularly around Townsville, we are still seeing torrential rain. We've seen extremely high winds overnight, and the winds are only just starting to slow down in Townsville. So it'll be some time before we've actually got people out able to assess particularly structural damage. In terms of essential services, the transmission network south of Innisfail is out of service, and it's not entirely clear. It's not clear yet. Won't be for some time till we can get someone in there, whether that's because the transmission tower or has come down. So that may mean electricity out for several days or longer in these areas. We also have preliminary reports from Telstra that 20 of their facilities have gone out, mostly around that Cardwell, Innisfail area. There are a further 420 facilities that are without power. They are being backed up with generators, but those generators only have about 6 to 8 hours of power in them. So we've seen a very significant failure of the mobile phone network in and around that area, and it could get significantly worse if we're unable to get electricity back into those 420 facilities. What we would regard as the essential services for managing these communities are water, electricity and telecommunications. Water we have got no assessment of yet. It's far too early to have people out assessing water treatment plants or sewage treatment plants, for example. So until we've got any indication on that, we can't make any comment on water and security of water supply. But without power, if in these communities, water will not be able to be pumped. So people do need to understand that these will be very difficult for some time, and we'll get a better handle on it later on today as we see more assessments done. These reports are not as bad as I expected to hear from a Category 5 cyclone, but I'm equally mindful that we have very small communities that no one has heard from yet. We've got people on rural properties, and we've still got a very significant event in this Category 3 cyclone making its way and cutting a path through other parts of Queensland where it can still do extraordinary damage. I would say to people who are listening that it is still not safe out on any of those streets, and often serious injuries and fatalities occur after the cyclone has passed. We have live power wires down. We have possibility of more flooding with a high tide at 9:30. Out there on the streets, you don't know what you'll find under any low-lying water. There'll be smashed glass, all sorts of hazards out there. So people really do need to stay safe, and it's not safe out there yet. So it's a long way to go before I'll be saying we've dodged any bullets. But I am particularly relieved this morning that the reports about the safety of people are so encouraging.